All right, hopefully you can see in this video, I have done a little bit of rearranging of my blocks. And so now I have my little staircase here. And what I'm trying to do is replicate that kind of classic Mario end screen where we're going to have a little staircase. And I want to put a flagpole out here so that when my player jumps into the flagpole, the level ends and then we start over on a new level. I'm going to get out of the way and let's go look in first in my image folder and then we'll get into the code. So in my assets folder, I have in my tiles folder, I found two more images. I got this flag and a flagpole image. I got these from the Kenny.nl site where I got the rest of the stuff, and I had to resize them to make them 64 by 64 so they matched the grid system I'm using. But the images are set up so that I can put the flagpole on the screen and then just put our flag on the screen and then put flagpole pieces below it, and this flagpole lines up exactly with this. So I can combine these images to make a flag as tall as I want. So the first thing I'm going to do is go load some images, and so we'll copy one of these, and this will be the flag image, and it's in the tiles folder, and it's called flag.png. Again, and the pole image, I believe the file name was called flagpole.png. And you can use whatever images you want to be your goal in the game. You may not even want to have a goal that's multiple images high, but this technique will still work. I'll show in the video. Okay, I'm just going to run it real quick just to make sure it doesn't crash, which means my image paths are correct. Okay, so now let's go draw. And so I'm going to make a new sprite group called a goal, and right here I'm adding in the sprite group called the goal. I forgot to delete that because I'm redoing the code now for the video. And this is going to be where the flagpole pieces go. And so the way my logic is going to work is if my hero touches anything in the goal sprite group, then the level is going to end. And so the next thing I'm going to do is make some locations for it. So I'm going to make my flag loc first. And I'm just going to say 14,4, which is going to be over on the right side of the screen. And then I'll make my pole locs. And this will be a list because I'm going to have multiple pole pieces. And so I'm going to do 14,5. And I'm just going to stack them. So it'll be 14,6 and 14,7. And that should take my pole all the way down to the ground. So now let's actually make some tiles and put them into this goal group. So I'm just going to say goal.add. Just kind of copying the syntax here. And I don't have a flag class, but I really don't think I need one right now. Just because a platform might work just fine. Well, actually, I think I will make a flag group. So we'll copy that and we'll make a flag. That way, if we ever decide to animate it or something like that, we could. Okay. So I'm going to go down to where I lost my place. So we're going to add a flag. And let's see, the first piece we'll just do flag loc 0, and then we'll do flag loc 1, and I'll do my flag image. And I'm not using a loop for this because I only have one flag piece. But then I'm going to copy this loop to deal with the pole locs. So we will loop through, we'll go for loc and pole locs, and we're going to add a flag. And it's going to be loc 0, loc 1, and we're going to make it a pole image. Right, so now we should have the goal added into a sprite group, and so the only thing left to do is draw it. So I'm going to go down here, and let's see, I'll say goal.draw on the screen, and I'm going to run this, and let's see what we get. And I'm left a parentheses short here. Got one more error, and it says name pole locs is not defined. Let's see. I think I'm just having typing problems today. Oh, and that should be goal.add, excuse me, and poll lokes, lost the equal sign. Okay, so flag lokes, poll lokes, you're adding to the goal, flag, got the right images. All right, I'm going to run this one more time so you can see one more error. And it says name goal is not defined when we tried to draw it. Okay, and the reason for that is, remember, we have a setup function now, and so variables we create in the setup are only visible in the setup unless we call them global. So I am going to add goal to the end of my global variables. And there we go. So now we got it on the screen. So at this point, we need our hero to actually interact with it. So I'm going to go do a little bit of setup stuff first. I'm going to go to my stages. I'm going to add one called level complete, and just set that to 3. That's the next number. I'm going to, let's see, I'm going to go to my helper functions, and let's pretend you didn't see this. I am going to copy my show lose screen function, and I'm going to rename this show level complete screen. Change the name, and I'll just change this text right here to level complete. Clean that up. All right, so now we've got this level complete function. It's just going to blit the text level complete on the screen in the same place it would have said game over. And then I'm going to go down to my logic. And in the drawing section here, I'm just going to add a section that says elif stage equals level complete. Then we will show the level complete screen. And so hopefully this logic makes sense, right? A lot of copying and pasting. So the thing we need to add into the game is a way to actually detect whether or not the hero has intersected any of those flags. And so I'm going to go up to my hero class, and here we are. And I'm just going to add in another function and make sure I'm even with all the others. And I'm going to go def, and I'm going to call my function reached goal. What I want this function to do, I'm actually not going to call it in the update section. I'm going to call this outside of the code. But this function, I want it to return true if the hero is intersecting any of the flag pieces in the goal, and I want him to return false if the hero is not intersecting any of those. So normally when we've been checking collisions, I've been gathering a list of all of the things that we collide with, and then we loop through them. I just need to know yes or no, am I hitting flag piece or not? There's no need for me to loop through them afterwards. So I'm going to do a slightly different way to check the collision. I'm going to say it's going to be pygame.sprite collide any. So it's collide any, sprite collide any, all one word. And I'm just going to say self and the goal. And so this will evaluate to true or false, depending on whether or not the hero is touching any of the flag pieces in the goal group. And so I can just return this value. This will just return true or false. And so when I'm doing my logic, all right, in my game logic section, and I'm trying to be consistent here with, here's where we're checking the status of the player. Well, let's add a section onto here that says if, or elif, hero.reached goal, and we'll set the stage to level complete. So let's run this and see if it works. Oh, and I'm making a mistake here somewhere, and so let's go try to find that. And oh, I know what it is. it's not reached goal, not an attribute, it's a function. I need the parentheses after it. And so we'll run this, player game, and we have reached our goal.